from New Hampshire.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator from New Hampshire.
I would just like to echo what my colleagues, Senator Mikulski and Senator Klobuchar, have said about this being a bipartisan issue. This is something that affects everybody in this country, Republicans, Democrats, Independents. It's a critical issue for the Senate. It's a critical issue for the House. It's a critical issue for state legislatures across the country. And I am so pleased to be able to join my colleagues and thank Senator Mikulski for her leadership for such a long time on this issue and so many others, and commend Senator Klobuchar for everything that she's currently doing to address this issue, and so pleased to join Senator Hirono as well this morning, and look forward to seeing my colleague from New Hampshire coming to the floor shortly. This Sunday, March 8th, nations across the globe will observe International Women's Day. It's an annual occasion to celebrate the achievements of women across the globe, but it also recognizes the obstacles that still stand in the way of equal rights and opportunities for women. Over the last century, women have fought for equal rights and opportunities, and we've made enormous advances in much of the world. Humanity has learned that women's rights are human rights, and those rights include being respected as full and equal partners in all aspects of the economy and society. We've learned that when women succeed, families succeed, communities succeed, and nations succeed. However, as my colleagues have pointed out so eloquently, across the globe, countless millions of women continue to face not only the denial of basic human and civil rights, but outright violence and bondage. We'd like to think of slavery as a thing of the past, particularly here in America. But the tragic reality is that this scourge continues to thrive in the 21st century. We are here this morning to shine a spotlight on the modern slave trade and to encourage all of our colleagues here in the Senate to work with us to end it. An estimated 27 million people are trapped in the multi-billion-dollar marketplace that traffics in slaves. Victims include forced migrant laborers, bonded laborers, and sex slaves, including women forced into marriages as de facto slaves. And tragically, as we've heard, children account for the majority of modern slaves, many of them trafficked and sexually exploited. And let's be clear, as Senator Klobuchar and Mikulski pointed out, modern-day slavery is not just confined to impoverished and backward countries. I was recently briefed on a human trafficking case investigated in my home state of New Hampshire. This case involved forced prostitution. Fortunately, 3 arrests have already been made. The investigation is still ongoing, so I can't talk about the specifics of the case, but fortunately, several of the victims have been rescued. But I want to just state the obvious and point out what Senator Klobuchar also pointed out. If modern slavery can exist in communities in New Hampshire, in Minnesota, in Maryland, it can exist anywhere in the world. Now, I'm proud that the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, led by Chairman Corker and Ranking Member Menendez, is spearheading new legislation, which I've co-sponsored, to fight the modern slave trade on a global scale. Our bill is titled the Ending Modern Slavery Initiative Act of 2015, and it was unanimously reported out of committee last week. It would authorize the creation of a nonprofit foundation to be known as the End Modern Slavery Initiative Foundation. This new foundation would fund projects to rescue victims of modern slavery and to prevent individuals from being victimized by slavery. In addition, it would pursue the strict enforcement of laws to punish individual and corporate perpetrators of modern slavery. And I want to again commend the work of the Senate Judiciary Committee under the leadership of Chairman Grassley and Ranking Member Leahy, as well as the work that Senator Cornyn and Senator Klobuchar are doing. The Judiciary Committee has advanced 3 bipartisan bills to crack down on criminals involved in human trafficking and to assist victims with their rehabilitation. Now, as we're talking about the prevalence of human trafficking, I think this picture of America that shows the areas of human trafficking shows that while it's stronger in particular regions of the country, up the I-95 corridor, it is all over the country. The presiding officer's home state of Arkansas, a small state like New Hampshire, is one of those states where we see a big red hot spot for human trafficking. We see it all across the country. And it's why we need to do everything we can nationally to respond to this scourge. Mr. President, as we look forward this week to celebrating International Women's Day on Sunday, let us also remember the millions of women who have been left behind, who are being exploited by traffickers and trapped in modern slavery, who are desperate to have their humanity recognized and rescued. I urge all of our colleagues here in the Senate to join us in supporting legislation that will combat and hopefully ultimately end modern slavery, the scourge of human trafficking. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I yield the floor.